Hi, Greg Perry here. We're down in the clock studio. We're just going to have a real simple tutorial for those of you at home that would like to lubricate your own clock mechanisms. Essentially, your mechanism, no matter if it's out of mantle clock, grandfather clock, wall clock, has two plates, as you can see right here. Two plates like a piece of bread. In between that, going perpendicular, are axles, or as we call them in the horological world, arbors. Okay, the arbor is the axle actually for this gear or wheel. So the only place that you want to oil a clock is the bearing surface between the actual axle as it goes in the hole of the plate, both sides. So every gear has an axle, has an arbor, and that bearing surface has to be oiled. It should only be lubricated at the time of service and every 5 to 6 years, and then every 10 to 12 years you should have a service. Typically, this oil, you can buy one of these oilers from Merit's Antiques or Merit's Clock Supply. Go online. And Merit's can direct you to 5 or 6 different types of oil, whatever suits the need, the type of clock or the type of watch you're doing, if that's the case. And you can buy this applicator, and that makes it quite easy to get in. If you can imagine your finger and you're putting oil on the tip of your finger, if it's going through the plate, it's a polymer that wraps itself around, and literally it's almost like your finger, if it was in the hole of the plate, turning on ball bearings. But nevertheless, there's still some amount of friction. So the arbor or the axle is out of steel. The plates are out of brass, so the steel wins in essence. And what happens is there's always an amount of dust created of brass. And the brass dust tends to accumulate at the bottom of the hole of the arbor. So if we were to oil every time, every year, every 6 months, for 12, 10 years before the next service, what happens when you oil, you recirculate the dust around the arbor or axle. It's not a good thing. It's really a grinding paste, and the hole has very tight tolerances where this axle goes through the plate. With a grinding paste, you're going to increase the size of the hole, and you're going to decrease the efficiency of your clock mover to the point that it will not run. So again, therefore we recommend that you oil only every 5 or 6 years and service every 10 or 12 years. So simply taking your applicator and putting it on the inside and just squeeze slightly and get a drop to a half a drop of oil on the arbor, and it will saturate through the plate into the bushing area. And that's all you have to do. So here's a tip for you at home. Hopefully you don't over oil. And one other statement rather, don't use WD-40. We have a lot of people that phone in or call me, they use WD-40, their clocks are not working. WD-40 is a short-term lubricant. It's great for loosening nuts and other things, but the end result is when that dries, it turns into a grease, 6 months, 9 months, 10 months, and the grease is not an effective lubricant. It actually increases friction and your clock will not run. Plus, there are components, synthetic components in WD-40 that will actually start breaking down the brass, going to the molecular matrix of your clock plate and start breaking the brass down by destroying the zinc. So again, from Perry's Clock Shop, thanks for stopping by.